One must still have chaos in oneself to give birth to a dancing star. Friedrich Nietzsche penned these words over a century ago, and yet they resonate today perhaps more strongly than ever. Chaos, it's unsettling, disruptive, and seemingly destructive. It threatens the very foundations of our plans and challenges our sense of control, making us deeply uncomfortable. But what if, beneath its turbulent surface, chaos actually holds profound potential, an essential force driving us toward growth, creativity, and self-discovery? At the core of this provocative idea lies the trickster archetype, a mischievous figure present in myths and stories across history and, as Carl Jung discovered, deeply embedded within our own psyche. Jung, the father of analytical psychology, viewed the trickster as far more than merely a prankster or troublemaker. He saw it as a vital psychological presence that embodies rebellion, unpredictability, and transformative chaos. But why should we, rational-minded adults navigating an already uncertain world, pay attention to such a disruptive figure? Because each of us has encountered the trickster, perhaps without even realizing it. Take a moment to reflect on your own life. Can you recall an experience when everything suddenly went sideways? Perhaps it was an unexpected job loss, a spontaneous decision that backfired, or a surprising relationship upheaval. Initially, it may have felt disastrous, unwanted chaos that threatened your carefully constructed order. Yet looking back, did that moment eventually lead to unexpected insights, pivotal growth, or newfound clarity? If so, you've already met your inner trickster, the hidden agent of transformation at work within your own life. Later in this video, we'll reveal precisely why embracing chaos could radically alter your perception of life's greatest challenges. We'll share a powerful Jungian insight that most people completely overlook, an insight capable of transforming how you respond to life's unexpected twists. In the coming chapters, we'll explore how this archetypal figure has shaped human culture and psychology, revealing how chaos, far from being mere disorder, can become your most powerful ally in personal growth. Are you ready to uncover the secret wisdom hidden in chaos? Let's dive in. To truly appreciate the significance of the trickster, let's travel across cultures and time, observing how humanity has always recognized this mischievous yet vital archetype. From ancient folklore to modern pop culture, the trickster's clever disruptions, cunning schemes, and humorous rebellions have continually challenged the status quo, teaching humanity invaluable lessons along the way. Consider Loki, the infamous troublemaker of Norse mythology, whose antics continually threw the gods into disarray. On one memorable occasion, Loki impulsively shaved off the golden hair of Thor's wife, Sif. What initially seemed like mere malicious mischief threw the gods into panic and disorder. Yet ultimately it led to the creation of Thor's powerful hammer, Mjolnir, an instrument of strength and protection. Loki's chaos, initially destructive, became the necessary catalyst for innovation and strength, reshaping the destiny of an entire pantheon. Across the ocean, we meet Anansi, the cunning spider from West African tradition. Anansi's tricks weren't mere entertainment, they were revolutionary. Through a series of clever deceptions, Anansi successfully tricked the powerful sky god into releasing stories previously inaccessible to humankind. By breaking boundaries and disrupting order, Anansi gave humanity the priceless gifts of wisdom, knowledge, and storytelling itself. His mischief, though chaotic, resulted in profound enlightenment and cultural growth. In North America, we encounter Coyote, a shape-shifting trickster whose antics often seemed irresponsible or foolish. Yet these reckless adventures were more than mere folly. They brought humanity essential gifts such as fire, survival skills, and wisdom. The chaos Coyote created always served a deeper purpose, challenging humanity's assumptions, testing boundaries, and teaching adaptability in an unpredictable world. Even today, the trickster's mischievous spirit endures vividly in contemporary characters we love. Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean exemplifies the modern trickster. His charm and spontaneous ingenuity repeatedly rescue him from impossible situations, revealing how embracing chaos can lead to extraordinary solutions. Similarly, modern comedians channel trickster energy to provoke thought, laughter, and self-reflection, exposing uncomfortable societal truths through satire and irony. In recognizing these stories, we understand the trickster archetype is not merely a relic of mythology. It's a timeless, psychological force alive in our own minds. Chaos, though uncomfortable, serves a vital purpose. It breaks open rigid structures, dismantles false certainties, and creates fertile ground for new growth and innovation. The trickster doesn't sow chaos for the sake of mere amusement. He guides us, sometimes gently, sometimes forcefully, towards our greater potential. Now that we've seen how cultures worldwide embody chaos through this universal prankster, let's delve deeper into the profound psychological insights Carl Jung discovered about the trickster archetype. Insights that reveal precisely why we cannot simply dismiss chaos as a nuisance. Instead, we must understand it as the gateway towards self-awareness and transformation. Now that we've journeyed through mythology and cultural legends, it's time to explore Carl Jung's deeper psychological insights about the trickster archetype. Jung didn't simply regard the trickster as an amusing mythological character or cultural curiosity. Instead, he recognized the trickster as a fundamental psychological presence, a vital force embedded within each of us, often manifesting in dreams, impulses, and life's unexpected disruptions. In Jung's pioneering analysis, the trickster represents our collective shadow, the primal, instinctive side of humanity that refuses to be neatly confined by reason, civilization, or social expectations. He famously described this archetype as both fool and genius, a paradoxical figure capable of tricking others, yet frequently tricked himself. Jung understood this contradiction as crucial, for the trickster embodies the irrational, untamed aspect of our psyche that our structured lives usually suppress. But this energy, when ignored or repressed, doesn't vanish quietly. Instead, it surfaces unexpectedly, creating chaos precisely when we feel we've achieved stability. Reflect for a moment on your own life. Have you ever experienced an inexplicable urge to break routine, disrupt your predictable patterns, or laugh at life's absurdities precisely when everything felt too rigid? Jung believed these impulses were far from meaningless distractions. Rather, they're essential messages from our unconscious, nudging us toward necessary change. The trickster archetype, in Jung's perspective, serves as the psyche's way of shaking us awake from complacency, pushing us inevitably toward growth, authenticity, and self-realization, an essential phase in what he called the individuation process, the lifelong journey toward becoming who you truly are. Indeed, Jung saw recognizing and integrating the trickster's chaotic energy as crucial for individuation. Until we consciously acknowledge this archetype within, it manifests externally, often through unexpected events, accidents, or bizarre coincidences that seem at first disruptive, inconvenient, or even absurd. Jung termed these meaningful yet seemingly random events synchronicities, another core concept closely tied to the trickster. These aren't mere coincidences, but powerful signals from our deeper self, messages that there's an imbalance or stagnation that needs addressing. Carl Jung famously declared, "In all chaos there is a cosmos, in all disorder a secret order." This statement beautifully captures the essence of Jung's insight about the trickster. Chaos isn't meaningless turmoil, it's a hidden mechanism of profound transformation, a subtle force guiding us toward deeper understanding and personal authenticity. Recognizing this helps us interpret chaos not as mere misfortune, but as an invitation, a disguised call from within, encouraging us to break free from limitations and become more fully ourselves. Yet here's a curious and amusing paradox. Jung himself was a kind of trickster figure, frequently challenging mainstream psychology, much to the initial irritation and later gratitude of his peers. By daring to disrupt the established order of psychological thought, Jung introduced revolutionary concepts like the archetypes themselves that continue to inspire and transform us today. So, as we move deeper into our exploration, consider this provocative question. What if the chaos we instinctively avoid is precisely the doorway we must pass through to reach true self-awareness? What if the trickster isn't merely a disruptive nuisance, but a guiding force, cleverly concealed behind mischief, nudging us persistently toward our fullest potential? Chaos, by nature, unsettles us. It's something we instinctively seek to avoid or control. Yet, as Jung and Nietzsche have both illuminated, chaos isn't something to fear, it's something to consciously embrace. Nietzsche powerfully asserted, "One must still have chaos in oneself to give birth to a dancing star," suggesting that chaos is not a destructive force to escape, but an essential ingredient in the creative process, a vital catalyst for transformation. But how exactly does chaos, with all its uncertainty and disorder, serve such a necessary and positive role? History repeatedly demonstrates how chaos fuels innovation and profound breakthroughs. Consider the story of legendary inventor Thomas Edison, whose entire laboratory suddenly went up in flames, destroying years of work. Rather than surrendering to despair, Edison calmly remarked, "Thank goodness all our mistakes have burned up, now we can start fresh." What initially seemed a devastating disaster became an unprecedented opportunity, freeing Edison to innovate boldly and ultimately leading to some of his greatest discoveries. Chaos was not the end. It was the necessary beginning. Similarly, modern comedy, our culture's embodiment of trickster energy, consistently leverages chaos to reveal hidden truths. Stand-up comedians like George Carlin and Dave Chappelle use provocative humor to disrupt conventional thinking, pushing audiences beyond comfort zones into moments of surprising clarity. Behind their jokes and playful irreverence lies a critical psychological purpose, breaking down mental barriers, challenging societal norms, and forcing us to confront truths we'd otherwise ignore. Comedy's chaos isn't frivolous, it's transformative, forcing us to rethink our assumptions and evolve our perspectives. At the heart of these examples lies a fundamental truth. Chaos is a necessary catalyst that dissolves entrenched patterns and outdated ideas, making space for innovation, growth, and renewal. Much like muscles require resistance to strengthen, our minds and spirits require periods of disorder to expand and evolve. Stagnation sets in when life feels too predictable. Creativity withers under strict control. It is precisely within these disruptive, uncertain moments, the moments we instinctively dread, that new insights emerge, possibilities are discovered, and breakthroughs happen. Chaos, in Nietzsche's words, is not a failure of order. It's the fertile soil from which order is reborn, stronger and more resilient. Jung echoed this profound insight, emphasizing that encountering chaos often marks a pivotal turning point in psychological growth. Rather than resisting it, we must recognize it as an invitation, perhaps even a demand to evolve. Now, pause again and reflect on your life. Has a moment of chaos ever unexpectedly improved your circumstances? Perhaps a job loss initially felt devastating, but ultimately guided you toward your true passion. Perhaps a sudden crisis forced you to reconsider your priorities, leading to greater wisdom and satisfaction. These experiences aren't mere random events. They are trickster moments, chaotic catalysts deliberately placed in your path to nudge you toward transformation. By consciously embracing the trickster archetype, we're not glorifying chaos recklessly. Instead, we're acknowledging its essential role as an agent of growth. Genuine transformation rarely occurs in comfort or predictability. It emerges vividly, boldly from disruption. Chaos, therefore, isn't merely tolerated, it's welcomed consciously as a friend in disguise, a necessary partner in our journey towards self-discovery. As we move forward, keep this transformative perspective in mind. Chaos, when viewed through the trickster's lens, transforms irritation into curiosity and discomfort into opportunity. And as we journey into the next chapters, we'll uncover precisely how to apply this wisdom practically, harnessing the trickster's chaotic energy to drive meaningful growth and deep personal transformation in your own life. Throughout human history, the trickster's mischief has always carried a hidden purpose. On the surface, his pranks and disruptions seem frivolous, absurd, or even destructive. Yet, as we look deeper, we discover a timeless wisdom buried beneath layers of chaos. This eternal prankster's greatest trick is perhaps convincing us that chaos is meaningless, when in truth it holds transformative lessons we desperately need. Let's revisit the myths we explored earlier, this time observing their profound underlying messages. Loki's antics within Norse mythology often created turmoil among the gods. Initially, his disruptions seem malicious, such as impulsively cutting the golden hair of Sif, but beneath the surface they always served a greater purpose. Loki's chaos led to powerful innovations, forced reflection, and ultimately strengthened the gods, compelling them to confront and overcome their own weaknesses. His mischief, destructive at first glance, carried hidden wisdom, pushing the divine community toward necessary growth. Similarly, West Africa's Anansi, the cunning spider, wasn't simply creating chaos for amusement. Through deception, he secured storytelling, one of humanity's greatest treasures, from the sky god. By tricking authority, Anansi gifted humans wisdom, narrative power, and knowledge. His seemingly disruptive actions brought enlightenment, revealing that sometimes chaos is the only way to access new truths previously locked away. This same principle echoes profoundly in human society. Consider the role of the medieval court jester. A trickster figure allowed the unique privilege of mocking authority directly to the king's face. On the surface, the jester's antics seemed purely for entertainment, yet behind his jokes lay uncomfortable truths delivered through humor to provoke self-reflection and humility among those in power. Shakespeare famously illustrated this in King Lear, where amidst the unfolding tragedy it is the fool, the trickster, who speaks the most profound truths, cutting through chaos to illuminate deeper wisdom. Beyond mythology or literature, this lesson resonates powerfully in our daily lives. Reflect on your own experiences. Has chaos ever seemed absurd, destructive, or utterly meaningless, only to later reveal itself as a turning point in your life? Perhaps it was an unexpected job loss, initially devastating but later recognized as an opportunity to find meaningful work aligned with your passion. Perhaps a personal crisis, a relationship breakdown, or financial difficulty forced you to reassess your priorities, ultimately guiding you toward greater authenticity, strength, and happiness. An inspiring example is Thomas Edison, who famously watched his laboratory burn to the ground, losing decades of work overnight. Yet in the face of apparent disaster, Edison calmly remarked, "Thank goodness all our mistakes have burned up. Now we can start fresh." His laboratory's destruction, initially catastrophic, ultimately liberated him, leading directly to innovations far surpassing his earlier achievements. Similarly, Steve Jobs, often considered a modern trickster figure, rebellious, provocative, and innovative, credited his forced departure from Apple as the best thing that ever happened to me. That sudden chaos compelled Jobs to innovate profoundly, reshaping technology forever. The modern equivalent of the trickster archetype appears vividly in comedy. Stand-up comedians, from George Carlin to Dave Chappelle, regularly disrupt conventional wisdom, challenging audiences with uncomfortable truths through humor and satire. Their playful chaos is never meaningless. It actively provokes thought, reflection, and change. Carl Jung himself recognized the profound psychological power of humor, noting, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves." Comedy, modern trickster energy, disrupts precisely to illuminate, guiding us toward deeper self-awareness. The essential takeaway from the trickster's lesson is clear. Chaos never arrives without purpose. It appears precisely where we most urgently need disruption. When we cling too tightly to old beliefs, rigid identities, or stale routines, the trickster archetype emerges, sometimes gently, sometimes dramatically, to break illusions, forcing us to evolve. Jung summarized this beautifully. In all chaos there is a cosmos, in all disorder a secret order. The trickster's great teaching is thus learning to perceive disorder not as a threat, but as a hidden invitation toward deeper growth. As we proceed, keep this vital lesson in mind. Every disruption, however uncomfortable, carries transformative potential. Chaos embraced consciously ceases to be a destructive enemy. It becomes an invaluable teacher, guiding us boldly toward meaningful personal transformation. Having journeyed deeply through myth, history, and psychology, it's now essential to translate this rich understanding of the trickster into actionable insights you can apply directly to your life. Because the trickster isn't just a figure from mythology or Jungian theory. He's a living psychological force inside each of us, emerging spontaneously, unpredictably, and disruptively. But how can you practically recognize and harness this archetype's chaotic energy to enrich your own life? The first step is recognizing that trickster energy is already present within you. It emerges in moments of unexpected humor, spontaneous rebellion against routine, or sudden urges to break from convention precisely when life feels overly rigid. You've likely felt this impulse during times of boredom, stress, or excessive predictability, a sudden desire to laugh, play, or challenge the status quo. Jung believed these impulses were not distractions but powerful signals from the unconscious mind, alerting us to necessary changes and deeper truths about ourselves. Consider moments of significant personal transformation. These rarely occur during comfortable periods of stability. Instead, They're often born from unexpected chaos. Picture James, who at 47 lost his secure job abruptly. Initially, he was devastated, his ordered life thrown suddenly into disarray. Yet, amidst that chaos, James saw an opportunity to reclaim an old passion he'd abandoned years ago. Embracing this disruption rather than resisting it, he reconnected with his creativity, eventually building a new, more fulfilling career. His story is not unique. Countless others experience similar transformations precisely because chaos forced them to reevaluate, adapt, and grow. A practical method to integrate the trickster's wisdom into your daily routine is to consciously shift your response to chaos. Next time life disrupts your plans, perhaps a cancelled flight, unexpected criticism, or an irritating inconvenience, pause deliberately. Ask yourself, what hidden opportunity might this disruption reveal? This simple yet powerful reframing transforms frustration into curiosity, shifting your mindset from passive victimhood to active creative participant in your own journey. Consciously embracing your inner trickster also cultivates essential qualities like adaptability, resilience, and innovation. Extensive research supports this. The greatest breakthroughs, the aha moments, rarely occur under strict, predictable circumstances. They emerge from unexpected disruptions when rigid thinking breaks down and allows fresh perspectives to appear, thus deliberately inviting a playful, spontaneous attitude into your daily routines, not recklessly, but intentionally opens space for innovation, growth, and creativity. Think of your inner trickster as a friendly provocateur, gently nudging you towards self-discovery. Jungian psychologists emphasize that humor and playfulness dismantle mental barriers, providing opportunities for deeper insight. Comedians exemplify this brilliantly, using laughter to reveal truths we resist seeing directly. By consciously bringing similar trickster energy into your life, perhaps by taking yourself less seriously, challenging routines, or deliberately engaging in playful disruptions, you harness chaos positively, using it to stimulate creativity and meaningful personal growth. This mindful approach to chaos doesn't mean inviting reckless disorder into your life. Instead, it's about cultivating resilience and adaptability. By consciously embracing your inner trickster, every unexpected event transforms from inconvenience into a growth opportunity. Every setback becomes a chance for deeper insight. Jung encapsulated this beautifully, stating, "I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become." Recognizing your inner trickster provides you precisely this empowering perspective. As we conclude this chapter, reflect on this. Chaos will inevitably appear in your life, but how you interpret it, either as mere misfortune or as hidden opportunity, is entirely within your control. By consciously integrating the trickster archetype, you cease resisting chaos. Instead, you learn to dance gracefully with it, transforming disruption into profound personal growth and meaningful self-discovery. Throughout our journey, we've explored a profound and often misunderstood psychological truth. Chaos, though unsettling and seemingly destructive, holds within it immense potential for personal transformation. At the heart of this insight stands Carl Jung's powerful understanding of the trickster archetype, the mischievous yet essential psychological force that disrupts stagnation, provokes self-reflection, and guides us, often reluctantly, toward deeper authenticity and personal growth. Carl Jung encapsulated this elegantly. In all chaos there is a cosmos. In all disorder, a secret order. The trickster archetype embodies this paradoxical wisdom, appearing in our lives precisely at moments when we cling too rigidly to certainty and structure, nudging us toward necessary disruption. Mythological figures like Loki, Anansi, and Coyote remind us repeatedly that the boundaries we build around ourselves, though comforting, can become prisons if never challenged. The trickster breaks down these illusions, not out of cruelty, but as an invitation, sometimes playful, sometimes forceful, to evolve into our most authentic selves. Yet, as we've learned, the trickster isn't confined solely to myths and legends. Each of us has encountered this archetype in our personal lives, often disguised as inconvenient, uncomfortable chaos. Perhaps you've experienced a sudden loss, a significant setback, or a life-altering disruption that initially felt disastrous. Yet, upon reflection, these chaotic moments often become turning points, opportunities to rediscover passions, reassess priorities, and ultimately reshape your life toward greater fulfillment and authenticity. Recall Nietzsche's powerful words we began with. One must still have chaos in oneself to give birth to a dancing star. Through our exploration, you've discovered precisely what Nietzsche and Jung both understood deeply. Chaos is not merely disruptive, it's necessary. It fuels creativity, sparks innovation, and fosters genuine psychological growth. By embracing chaos consciously, you move beyond merely tolerating disruption, instead actively harnessing it to fuel meaningful personal transformation. Consider the story of James we mentioned earlier, a man whose comfortable life was shattered by an unexpected job loss. Initially devastated, James eventually recognized this chaos as the very catalyst he needed, guiding him toward renewed passion and purpose. His story, relatable and inspiring, demonstrates vividly how chaos, when approached with openness rather than resistance, transforms seemingly catastrophic moments into opportunities for profound personal growth. As you continue your own journey, reflect deeply on your personal trickster moments, times when life disrupted your carefully laid plans, forcing you to evolve. Perhaps you've resisted these moments, viewing chaos only as an adversary to your happiness, yet now, armed with Jung's wisdom, you have the power to see chaos differently, as a valuable ally, an invitation to creativity and authenticity. Remember also the humorous yet profound example of comedians, our modern-day tricksters. Through laughter and satire, they disrupt comfortable conventions, reveal hidden truths, and compel us to reconsider assumptions about ourselves and society. Embracing the trickster within means similarly learning to laugh at life's absurdities, consciously stepping outside your comfort zone, and welcoming unexpected surprises with curiosity rather than fear. In closing, I invite you to carry Nietzsche's words forward as your mantra. One must still have chaos in oneself to give birth to a dancing star. Embrace your inner trickster. Allow yourself to dance gracefully with uncertainty. Welcome disruptions as hidden teachers, guiding you toward deeper self-awareness, creativity, and personal fulfillment. Transformation is rarely found in comfort or predictability. It emerges vividly, powerfully, from the very chaos you instinctively resist. Have you experienced your own transformative trickster moment? An event that initially felt disastrous but ultimately reshaped your life for the better? Share your story below in the comments. Your experience might just inspire others navigating similar journeys toward growth. Remember, chaos isn't your enemy. It's your hidden pathway to becoming your most resilient, authentic self.